Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
How you feeling today?
good. How are you?
Doing excellent. Thank you for asking. Really appreciate you joining us here on the Alan and Aaron Sports Talk Radio Show. So, for those
That's
who
all
don't know, it's Jeff Horn, the
right.
Hornet. There you go. Got the shirt on too. All right. So, we wanted to kind of ask you that. How did you first get started in boxing?
I went through a bit of bullying in high school at certain points, and I was going to end up going out night clubbing with the missus, and I thought I got in a couple of fights that I lost in school, so I thought I'll learn how to protect myself and her when we go out.
Yeah, it was the best way to do it. Just go ahead and learn how to box. And because of that, you actually started an anti-bullying foundation. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yes, it's called AMAYDA is a program that we run, and that's supported through Bully Proof Australia, and that's where we put mentors in schools, and we train them up to do a program which we think helps with combating bullying and giving kids confidence.
Yeah, that's a great program. I've seen one of your programs, in fact, where you actually gave away a Hornet, which is a car of the Hornet, which is really cool.
Yeah, that was a while ago. That's a good
Yeah,
memory. A long ago that we've done that. I can't even really remember what the actual reason for that was, but yeah, someone gave
yeah,
that away.
yeah, that's awesome. And you've had a fantastic career, and your signature win was beating Manny Pacquiao. What do you think is the reason why people maybe don't give you the credit you deserve for beating Manny so many years ago?
Uh, because I guess it wasn't meant to happen. One, it went to the decision, and normally when a champion it goes to the decision. Normally in boxing, it probably goes to them. So I was standing there thinking, I was like, I felt like I was winning the rounds, but I always knew if I didn't stop him, it was going to be a tough ask to try and get the decision. But um, luckily, I got the decision, and yeah, I was elated with the decision.
Yeah, end up getting the belt and becoming a champion. And what advice do you have for a guy like a George Cambosis or Tim Zoo who have a belt, being that you was a former champion?
Yeah, look, Cambosis is doing very well. He's got a few of the belts already, so he knew what it took. He knew the hard work that had to be done, the sacrifices that he had to do to give up his family and that time away to achieve his dreams, and he's done it all now. And now he's got massive opportunities and more massive fights ahead of him. So he's done very well. Tim is yet to get there, but I'm sure he probably will one day. He's got a very, very good work ethic, and he believes in himself. And I guess that's one reason why he will probably be champion one day.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, definitely, they got great worth ethic. And you're one of the few people in the entire planet that has fought Manny and both Terence Crawford. Talk about the differences between the two of them.
Look, I think my style just suits um, against Pacquiao better. Like
Mhm.
for instance, he's a smaller guy to start with.
Yeah.
Even though Terence Crawford's not the biggest guy either, but Pacquiao's style is a come forward style, and that's that's what I am as well. So we just butted head literally in that fight because one was southpaw, one was orthodox, and myself, and it was a war of both of us coming forward, and a lot of punches were landed, but a lot of head clashes landed as well. So yeah, that wasn't pleasant, but Crawford was more. He saw what I did to Pacquiao, and he was like, "Okay, I've got to be like the guy to let the ball come forward here." And he knew I had to because I knew if I'm going to America to fight him, I probably had to be on the front foot and winning the rounds convincingly. And he was able to draw me into his game plan.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. Terrence, I think he worked to his advantage, the fact that he saw you in Manny's fight. And I think that's what it was. Talk about the experience of you actually going from Australia to Vegas to fight him.
Look, it was a first for me. I hadn't fought internationally except for New Zealand, which is pretty close to home for me. So I had to go the whole 9 yards and go all the way to America and fight. And I probably didn't go early enough there. I probably recommend if guys to go a few weeks at least earlier, and to finish off the last bit of their camp at least to acclimatise and things like that. My just little things probably disrupted me, like having the family there. Had a lot of people there as well, but in the same room. I probably should have had a separate room at that stage. That was probably a mistake. So sleep-wise, probably was not 100%, and yeah, that's the main things anyway. I can
Yeah,
think.
that's very interesting. I think people here in the States, they don't really think about, hey, somebody's actually coming from overseas as far as it is. What time did you get here before the fight? Like in a week or a couple of days?
I think it was a week. I think I arrived a
Okay.
week before. Yeah, which just wasn't enough. I think you need to land and like have a few weeks there at least to kind of finish off your training camp and then to start that weight making process. Whereas I was making weight basically as soon as I came.
Wow. So yeah, that is definitely great advice for people to, if you're gonna fight all the way across overseas, get here early. Don't do it the week of.
Yeah.
But a lot of boxers, they clamor to get a great opportunity. One thing that was on the record was that you, as a family man, turned down an opportunity of a purse of about $2 million because of the birth of your daughter, Charlotte. Talk about
Yeah.
that opportunity and choosing your family first.
Yeah, look, money is second to family, that's for sure. I've had plenty of big opportunities, and it's very easy to say no if I'm going to have to sacrifice a situation like that. That's a once in a lifetime for me, is to be able to be there for the birth of my children. So I am going to pass up on that type of money any day of the week to be there for that. And I could only imagine how bad I'd feel if something was to go wrong and I wasn't there to support and be there for it. So, and it's just such a joyful occasion when everything does go right. It's just something I just never want to miss.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice, and choosing your family. And you, along those lines, how has it changed your career now that you've become a dad and a husband, and things have changed in your lifestyle?
Yeah, look, I'm loving being a dad. I'm able to be around a lot more with them and hang out, and it's just the best. I'm really enjoying it. Some people probably can't wouldn't as much as I do, but I love just chilling out with them and just going places, and yeah, it's just cool.
Yeah, yeah. Being a dad is really cool, speaking from experience. So that's great that you're enjoying that job and that role. And, at this point, being that you are happy with the family, is there any content that you have to get back into the ring?
Look, I've had offers to get back in there, but unless I'm getting an extremely good one, that's the only way I'm going to get drawn back in there. Because I guess I'm risking my health, and I want to make sure I've had some pretty big paydays in the boxing world now, and if I'm going to continue, they're the type of paydays that I'm going to have to get. If I'm going backwards and going back to my little purses that I was building up for a long time, that's not going to happen.
So it sounds like you're getting offers, but they're not near anywhere close to what you were making, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's right. Look. It would need to be a juicy one to get me interested. Like I'm talking six figures offers.
Okay, so somebody's watching, six figures or better. Otherwise, don't waste your time.
Basically.
Yeah, yeah. But if you were to come back, is there a particular weight that you had in mind that you might want to stay at?
Look, I think I would have to fight at super welter. I think that would be the best suit for myself. However, I guess I could fight at middleweight. I guess I'm heavy enough right now to fight at super. So But I think middleweight or super welterweight would be the divisions I would aim at if I was ever to come back.
Okay, great. Are you still working out in the gym, or are you kind of just hanging out with the family more or less?
Look, I've only literally yesterday was a day I went back to the gym after about 6 weeks off, but it wasn't a boxing gym. It was just a regular gym just to do some weights and get that fitness back up, which is what we all need to do is to maintain a healthy lifestyle anyway. And I was starting to notice the weight starting to pour on. So I'm like, I need to get back into the gym.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a good thing to stay healthy, stay fit. Or are you planning on maybe at the meantime, before an offer comes in, to maybe help another boxer that's maybe coming up in the game?
Look, I haven't had really any offers to do that.
Hmm.
If it, I guess I would consider it, but I'm I don't know. I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing right now. I'm changing a lot of lives with the AMAYDA program that we're doing. We're trying to bully-proof Australia to start off with, and then maybe we'll keep on moving around. But yeah, if there was an offer on the table to help train someone, I could give some advice, but I don't see myself being a full-on trainer.
Okay, great. So you like being in the ring, man. It sounds like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing that really, really impresses me is that you do put besides the anti-bullying campaign, you also in one of your posts, you talked about suicide, which caught my attention. Suicide is, 15 out of between the age of 15 and 49, somebody in Australia unfortunately commits suicide. And that's a serious subject. What can you say about that subject, about suicide, that you can share with people?
Yeah, look, I feel like these days it's just growing and growing more and
Mhm.
more, and because of social media as well, and people just have nowhere to hide, and they're attacked even when they go home and in their places of comfort. So people need to learn and how to deal with that, and a lot of that is through getting confidence, doing something, and the program that we have, I think, gives a lot of confidence to kids and adults who do it, and people have just got to find something that they get confidence from, and they can use that to combat bullying. Not necessarily beating the person up, but to good about themselves.
Yeah, it is. It is something that's very, very important for people to make sure that they have confidence in themselves and not let somebody else's opinion impact them to the point of, depression. Yeah.
Sorry, you just cut out a little
Uh,
bit then.
yeah, I was saying it's very important that people know that someone else's opinion or what their actions are shouldn't impact you in a point where you're getting depressed or negative. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of the program, is to give you confidence that if someone says something bad to you, you're not going to take that to heart, and you know how to deal with it better.
Yeah. And how can people support your organization, the people who want to go ahead and do that?
Look, if they've Bullyproof Australia has a website, I'm pretty sure, where you can donate to,
Yeah.
and all bullying around the country. Uh, but yeah, just talking about it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, is we know we've got a problem. We've got to talk about it, and then what are you going to do about it? Um, I think our program is one of the best and one of the only out there that are doing it, and I think that's doing wonders for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that's very, very important that people need to know, is that there is help. There's people and foundations like yourself to do things. And talk about you being a teacher. That's how it all started.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I finished school and I was one of the I was a sporty kid. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I came to that grade 12 moment. I was like, well, I don't know what I want to do, but I had some really good mentors as teachers at that time, and I was like, oh, well, my PE teachers are pretty cool, and they got a pretty awesome job. They get to basically play sport and stuff every day and get paid to do it. So I was like, I want to do what they're doing, because they inspired me, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do the same and inspire some other kids one day. So I was able to do that for a little while.
Yeah, you're a true inspiration from Australia, doing what you're doing, and it's fantastic. And is there, I know you talked about, a decent offer that will get you anticipated to fight again? Is there a specific box you had in mind that you might thought about fighting? Maybe.
No, I
No.
haven't. That's a good question, but
Yeah.
it's one I can't answer, or I can, because I haven't thought about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be an interesting one, that's for sure. I couldn't tell you who would interest me, but yeah, I have to be interested in the fight.
That's for sure. And your family would support it if the right offer came along.
Oh, look, I would still have to arm twisting with the wife to get her to approve the fight. She's pretty happy with me never fighting again, but I think I don't know if I've had my last fight, so until I know, that's it, and I can say no offer will get me back in there, but possibly one will. So I just can't say yet, and I can't let her decide that for me.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like you have an interest in it, but it has to be collaborative. And the person who set up this interview, top fan Glenn Earnshaw, he just told me to ask you if it was possible he can have 2 signed photos for you.
We can arrange that.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of your work, and he's the one who set up this interview. And it's definitely, he's honored that you would actually come on our show, which is something that we're honored for too as well.
Yeah, that's all right. It's been a pleasure so far, so thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. We appreciate you joining our show. Is there anything else you want to share to your fans before we disembark?
Look, just to keep happy. Do something that makes you happy. If you're not happy at the moment, find something that does, or find a person that does. Normally, you need both. You need that you need to find the right person in your life that makes you happy, and you need to find the right things that make you happy. And that's it.
Yeah, well, definitely, it definitely appears that you're very happy and content in life, whether you get an opportunity or not. We hope you do, because we want to see you again in the ring, but we'll leave that decision to you and your family. We definitely appreciate you joining us here, Jeff Horn, the Hornet, and we hope you stay safe out there and be blessed, you and your family.
Cheers. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's a real honor. Appreciate it. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye now.